What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Training Podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined by Australian Kayla Williams. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say thank you to Australian Kayla Williams because it's 3:30 in the morning over there right now on a fucking Saturday, and homegirl's here on the podcast with me. What's up, Kayla?
Hey. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into
Let's
it.
do it. So, for the podcast audience, like your growth has been phenomenal. I wrote down that you hit $30,000 a month. Is that correct?
So this almost became a $30,000 a month. And then my 3 calls this week were all ended up being recurring. So we're just a little bit shy off it. We're sitting at 27 now today.
$27,000. That's still fucking incredible. And just for everybody that's listening to the podcast right now, so tell me a little bit about you and what made you decide that you wanted to be a PT in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. So if we rewind back, I was always into my health and fitness, but I stepped into the role of like becoming a PE teacher. So all throughout high school, I was like really into my sport. I was a state level swimmer. So I always had like a fitness background. And then so that led me down the path of going into becoming a PE teacher. So I actually was a face-to-face PT all throughout my university degree. So when I went to uni, I went and become like I studied sport and exercise science. So went and did a bachelor in that. Then I did my master's in teaching. So did that. And then I taught for 6 years. During that time, COVID happened. So yeah, I think the thing is COVID really did lead me down the online coaching space,
Mm.
but I was a face-to-face PT. I managed like the F45 gyms and stuff all throughout uni. So I had that background of the face-to-face PT. But then what ended up happening, and then I was doing like one-to-one face-to-face personal training all throughout uni.
Yep.
And so my idea of personal training was it was just the thing that I did while I was a uni student. And then following on from that, I left PT altogether during my first couple of years of teaching. And then when COVID happened, I had a number of clients reaching back out to me for like your home workouts and things like that.
Mm.
Then I had a number of people wanting me to do them. So I was doing the Zoom workouts from my balcony at home. And anyway, I started looking into it. I go, you know what? What's this online coaching space thing? And did my research into it. And here we are. So I pretty much went from full-time teaching to part-time teaching to then becoming a CRT, and then I have fully resigned. Now, the thing about that, it's really interesting because I know that a lot of people are just like, just quit your 9 to 5. And so this is an interesting topic for us because I decided, fuck it. I'm a single girl. I have a mortgage. I can't just do that.
Yeah.
But I always had it in my mind that, yeah, I need to leave. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like I just had this gut instinct that I needed to do this and I needed to go all in.
Yep.
And it was your podcast that got me through to actually pushing through to do it
Really?
because it's like that saying that you say, burn the fucking boats, right?
Yep.
And burning the boats has literally led me to this growth where we are today because I had my fingers in way too many pies. I was trying to do too many fucking things, and doing all of it was keeping me stuck. Like that's where I was stuck at, like your 6 to 8 thousand a month. And to get to the point that I'm at now, like there's no way that I could be teaching as well. So
Mm. I love it. I want to, first of all, love that hearing that the podcast helps you because maybe today we can help somebody else fucking jump into their shit full time. That would be
yeah,
cool.
that's it.
So out of curiosity, because everybody that's listening to this podcast is probably like $27,000 a month is so far away for them, right? They're like, hey, there's no way, I'm making 1,000 or I'm making $2,000 a month. $27,000 a month seems insane because when you think about that, that's like almost 300 grand for the year. It's fucking crazy to
Well, I
consider.
mean, my teaching salary was 80,000 a year. So I
You made
remember being
one
a
third of
teacher
that
thinking,
in a month.
do you know what I mean? And do you know what's interesting about that? Like, okay, $80,000 a month. The only way for me to progress with teaching was to like become a principal. And then, like I didn't want that. So the ceiling is so much higher in this
Mm.
industry. And that's what it took me a long time to realize that. Another interesting thing, you say $27,000 is a lot, but it's so weird being the small fish in the big pond because since I've gone into the $1 million mastermind, I feel like I make peanuts compared to everyone else in there.
That's the
And I'm
vibe.
and I'm
That's the vibe in the program.
and I'm sitting here going, oh my God, like I feel like I should be celebrating my wins, but then I'm like, but there's so much more to
Yes, you
go.
should. Okay, fuck that. First of all, I get it. Second of all, fucking celebrate. Okay, because like $27,000 a month is a lot of fucking money. The reason that Kayla's even saying that is inside of our $1 Million Mastermind coaching program. Like, well, we have 3 students break $100,000 a month this month. There's a fourth one that's about to, Australian Patrick. So it will feel intimidating, but like, dude, Patrick was just like you fucking a year and a half ago. And
Yeah.
like the thing that got him to the level that he's at right now is like the community, the support, the tapping in. So like, I want to fucking coach you on that right now and like share your fucking wins. Okay. Share your wins. I want you
I do
after this
need to.
podcast, you're going to go into the $1 Million Mastermind and be like, I just hit $27,000 for the motherfucking month. And I believe that's a record, correct?
It is. It is. It actually is. And okay, what was the question? Because I've been distracted, but then there's something else I would love to touch on as well.
So I asked, like, what was your starting point? Because
Oh,
$27,000 feels like so far away. So, like, when you first started, when you were making like 1 to 2K, like, what were your followers sitting at? Where were you sitting at? Like, tell me a little bit about your journey getting started. I believe you started 7 or 8 months ago, 6 months ago, fully going.
yeah. So I started in April.
Hmm.
And what's wild about that is I literally had 1,000 followers, 1,500 followers. It wasn't until April that, like, sorry, when I started with you guys, I was only at 2,000, 2,500 followers. I'm almost at 7,000 now. And I was so stuck on 2,000 for so long until I did the content mastery and until I tapped into that side of things. So like literally, it wasn't until I come to you guys where the growth happened because I went all in though. And what I do want to preface is like when I was sitting at 1 to 2,000 a month, it's funny. I did get mentoring here in Australia as well. And I remember saying to them, I just want to hit 15 clients. I just want 15 clients and then I'll be happy. Like then I can kind of do both. I actually never initially had it in my from going back when I started like when I was at 1,000, 2,000 a month, I actually thought it was always going to be a side hustle. Like I would still actually be teaching because I never
Mhm.
thought I would be able to make it a full-time thing. I
Mhm.
thought it was just going to be a side hustle. And then, yeah, here we are realizing there's way more than that.
And $27,000 is just the start. So I want to go back to that, Kayla, that like we're sitting at like that $1 to $2,000 a month and we're at that 2,000 followers. What were some of the, you say going all in. So when you say going all in, can we go a little bit deeper on that? Like for you, quitting your job was one of the things that you did to go all in. But I think a lot of people, what they do when they go all in is they burn the boats and then they don't follow it up with the actions required in order to get where they want to be. So for
Yeah.
you going all in, what does going all in mean for you? Like, what did you do specifically?
Okay. Well, I invested like a lot of money into a mentoring. So, I've invested over $30,000 in mentoring this year. But I would say that all of that has been, made back. What I will say is going
This
all
month,
in. Pardon?
made back this in 1 month. Just want to
Yeah,
clarify.
exactly. True.
Yeah.
So what I will say, sorry, is that going all in was just not missing out on non-negotiables. It was getting clearer on a schedule. It was getting clearer on numbers. So when I went all in, I should say, I had to think of a vision long term. Like I had to think beyond 1 year. I had to think, okay, well, like, what does this look like for me? What kind of life do I want to live? What matters to me? What is important to me? And I got really, really clear on that from the vision idea that you have, where I use voice memos a lot. And I think it was going all in required me to reverse engineer backwards, going, okay, well, if this is the life that I want to live, this is the money that I need to make, and these are the numbers I need to hit. And it was honestly just paying way more attention to the numbers.
Mm,
So, like, I used to track KPIs, but not to the level that I do now. That has been one big shift in my business, is just knowing my numbers. And, I used to just like, I wouldn't actually go actively looking for clients back when I was teaching because I felt like I couldn't. I didn't have the capacity. Like I wasn't just teaching, like I was teaching high school, like year 11 and 12 kids. I had a lot of commitments at school. I was marking exams, SACs, etc. I didn't have time to make content. I didn't
mm,
have time to script content, plan content. But also I didn't realize the impact of how important that was for
mm,
the growth of my business.
mm.
And then as I started stepping away and realizing how much more important it was, do you know what's actually interesting? It was my birthday and I took a day off from school. I was like, fuck this, I'm going to take a day off. And I filmed content that day with Carly. You know, Carly, she's now
Yep.
my ops manager. And we went out for brunch for my birthday, and I go, fuck it, let's go to the grocery store. Let's do some content at the grocery store. That content popped off. And it's like, I could have been CRTing today. And because CRT, you get a lot of money, you get $400 a day to sit in the classroom and like babysit kids, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. And then I was like, I can do that, or I can make content. And it's a slower grind, but it's going to pay off. And then the thing that led me to just going all in, I went and CRT'd. I covered for one of my friends. I did 4 weeks of covering for this teacher. I was sitting in the classroom and I just was like, this ain't it. This is just not it. I was just dealing with bullshit all the time. Like, I felt like I was just stuck because these kids just complain, whine, whinge all the time. And you've got your good, it's like your clients. You've got your great clients. You've got your average clients. You've got the ones that break your balls, right? But with
Facts.
it's the same, but it was just like I've made for more. Like I've got so much more passion every time I was like serving my clients. I was getting so much joy, and I felt that like it was the energy thing. And I go, I need to be doing coaching full time. I need to be making content. I need to build a bigger team. Like, and that's when it all just hit me. After I finished that 4 weeks of placement, I was like, I'm not fucking going back. And I've stuck to my word ever since. I haven't gone back.
How long ago was that?
So that was, I would say that was like May, June.
May, June, July,
And that
August,
was really
September,
scary.
October, November. So we're on 6 months. Six
I've
months
just
that you've been going
stopped.
going all at it, going all in.
I've just remembered, sorry, it would be like the very first week of July because, yeah, term
Five
term
months.
two.
Five
Yeah.
months. 5 months of going all in, and you were able to build a business to $27,000 a month. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucking
we've
cool.
doubled it since I started on the program. Like I was probably 8 to 10K months. I went into the 10K mastermind, and then even in there, I was asking, I got to that point where I was asking your coaches too many questions about outsourcing,
Team,
like
team. Yeah.
building
Building
a
a
team.
team.
It was where I was really, really stuck with my time management. And
Hmm.
and I was like explaining to some of your coaches, I go, I feel like I've got my shit pretty well together. Like I've got a good calendar. I'm time blocking everything. I'm just doing too much. Like I
Hmm.
cannot physically do all of these jobs in a day. And then and then that's when a few of your coaches are like, Kayla, the questions you're asking, you need to level up into the $1 million mastermind. And then I was like, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. And can I say, this is when now I'm starting to reap the reward of like getting my time back. But I'll also be completely honest, this has been the hardest fucking month I've ever had.
Mm.
Like I actually have reached a point where I'm a little bit low key struggling. I had a mental breakdown to Carly yesterday because building a team is a whole new level.
Hmm.
And it's just go, 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 like all the time. But I'm like, I asked for this. It's so
Mm.
funny. Like 12 months ago, I asked for growth. Now it's here. And I'm like, am I ready? But I am ready. Of course I'm ready.
You know what's funny about that is I want to resonate with. So first of all, I love that you're vulnerable on the podcast. Thank you for that. I think everybody needs that. Guys, this is like everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wants to lift no heavy ass weight. Ronnie Coleman. But dude, it's the same thing with business. Like this, like in order to build your business to $10,000 to $20,000 a month, you just need to optimize yourself as a one-man person, which means that you are in full control of every aspect of the business, and every aspect of the business 100% relies on your work ethic and your commitment, period. And if you can get yourself to show up, you can get yourself to post content, you can get yourself to do DMs, you can get yourself to do sales calls, like you will build your business to $10,000 to $20,000 a month, period.
Yep.
However, in order to scale past that, like when we're talking about $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month, like it's a whole new set of skills.
You
Like the
need
set of
systems.
skills that got you to this level is no longer going to be the set of skills that gets you to the next level. Now it's systems. Now it's team. Now it's leadership. Right. And it's like part of leadership is being able to have, difficult and hard conversations with people when they're fucking up. Part of leadership is being able to take full responsibility when something fucks up in the business, and like not getting mad at your team, being like, this is my bad because I didn't train you properly. So let me train you properly. Then you train them properly, and then they fuck it up again. And then you're like, now this is your bad. Let's fucking
Yeah.
fix this. Right. And then they get better, or they don't get better, and we find another person. It's like, that's a whole new set of skills. And on the
This
other
is
side of that, dude, on the other side, I want to fucking pause because I know that you're in the middle of the thick of it right now. On the other side of that, you will find the people that are ride or die for you. You will train them to be fucking excellent. They will get better at their jobs. You'll get better at your job as the leader. And then your business will start to grow to 30,000 to 40,000 to 50,000. And it won't require as much as of your time. But I want you to understand that what you're going through right now and that like 27K, like, holy fuck, just had a mental breakdown. This is where a lot of people quit because it's too hard. There's too much pressure.
Mm.
They're like, I just want to fucking go back to where it's comfortable and safe and secure. But me and you both know, like, I feel like if you did that, you'd be fucking really mad at yourself. It's like, this is like peak week for
Yeah,
your
I
shit.
would.
You're on peak week. You're in the middle of peak week. It's fucking
It
hell.
is. It is.
It's hell. And it's fucking, you just got, guess what? You got to fucking get back in there, champ. Keep on going. That's how it works.
100%. And that's the thing. I was saying this to Carly the other day. I'm like, I've just been I'm like, no shit is why I've had a mental breakdown last week because I've been grinding it out for the last 12 months. No days off. Like,
That's
because I
another
am at this
thing. We need
point
to
of
talk
trying to
about
find,
that. You need to take a fucking day off. Okay. What are you doing this
I
weekend?
do need to take a day off. Pardon?
What are you doing this weekend?
I've got the Life of Your Fitness Christmas party on Sunday. I'm not taking any days off, but we're celebrating, so it's okay.
All right. What about next week? What do you got going on next week?
I reckon I'm gonna have a nap after this. I'm gonna have to. But
What
I'm training my coach at the moment.
what are you training your coach? I
Tomorrow.
want you to I'm gonna give you fucking command. Okay. You need to take Monday off. Literally, you can move
Okay.
everything on Monday. You can go to the beach. I don't know what fucking Australians do. Go to the beach, go get a fucking pedicure, manicure, do a self-care day. Tell your clients, I
Yeah.
fucking love all of you guys. I will be back on Tuesday. So don't bother me. Airplane mode your phone,
Yeah,
go do
no.
some fun shit.
I've actually really started this. I've got into the boundaries of like the app and everything. Anyway, that's another thing. That's another thing. I know I've got work to do on my self-care.
Take a fucking day
Um,
off, okay?
okay,
And
okay.
start scheduling self-care. You deserve
No,
it.
I do. But like my idea, I'll say I've had a day off, but I'm still like planning content, scripting
Nope.
content, doing
That's not a
all
that's not a day off. What the fuck are you talking about?
that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
took a
mean.
day off. I just fucking did a bunch of work. What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. Okay. This is good. I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I feel like when people hear $27,000 a month, they think, oh, this girl has all of it together.
No, I don't.
She's got it all together. This girl's fucking it, Guys, this is a fucking part of it. This is a part of it. And like this is like the next level requires this. Like, listen, I think that one of the things I want you to write this down, Kayla, because I think it's important. We grow when we reach our extremities. And like that same concept applies to how you grow your muscles in the gym is progressive overload. You get to that point where you're like, okay, you can feel that tension and you push just a little bit further and then you recover, AKA take a fucking day off. And then when you recover, you build back stronger. And then the next time you go, you can handle more resistance. It's the exact same thing with our business, you guys. But so many people, what they do is they'll go to their extremities, right? They go to their extremities. They can feel that pressure. They can feel that pressure. And then they're like, oh, I need to keep going. I need to fucking keep going. But it's the same thing in the gym. If you do that, if you work out for 4 hours, there comes a point of like diminishing returns. And in your
Yeah.
business, if you continue to push past your breaking point when like the mental breakdown is
I literally
a
had this.
very big sign of you push past the extremities. So now we'll take a day, we'll recover, we'll rest, and then we'll come back stronger. Like that's how we grow in business.
Yeah,
And so
it's so
like,
true.
yeah.
It's so true. I think it's one of those things. It was like the Black Friday, and then we're pushing, we're pushing. I'm like, I just got to get past the Black Friday. But also, I think as well, it's definitely being in the community that we're in,
Mhm.
and you see all of the wins of what everyone else is doing and the number of calls they're getting booked, and you get FOMO, and you're like, oh fuck, I need to book some calls this week.
Mhm.
So it pushes you well outside your comfort zone. Like I'm definitely outside my comfort zone at the moment. Like it's really pushing me. The universe I feel is really testing me at the moment, but I all know that it's going to be worth it. And this is the thing, it's like I am starting to reap the reward and little things like I've now hired a VA externally. I have Carly, who's my operations manager. I'm training up a nutritionist who, again, if we go back to like the vision of like you need to know where you're going. You need to know like what is the direction. You can't just keep doing the same task but not have any idea of where you're actually going with the business,
Mhm.
because if you want to grow beyond like that 20K, you do need to think of, okay, what does this business look like with staff?
Mhm.
Like, what does this business look like when I bring on a team? Because, whatever your coaching services are and what you offer, it's going to change. like you will start coming into these bottlenecks, which is what I'm coming into now with like one-on-one check-ins. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I don't want to be doing one-on-one check-ins anymore. I want someone else to be helping me with this. I want to be doing coolest shit. I want to be podcasting. I want to be making content. I want to be going and doing workshops. I want to be going and doing Bali retreats. Like you start looking at the bigger picture, and then that's when you go, well, my coaching model needs to be altered. And that's another thing that comes with growth. You start analyzing, how can this be scalable? Like what needs to change inside the business? Like, for example, doing one-on-one Loom check-ins and then shifting how you do things so that it can be more scalable and so more people on deck can help you out. That's where I'm at the moment too, is just that there's a lot of changes happening for the better, but it's all just, it's again, streamlining the onboarding process, all of your automations. There's things like, even with my content now, Carly has set up my many chat sequences. She's like, Kayla, can't just post that. It wasn't ready. Like, so now it's like, I've got to make sure that I go through other people. I can't just do what I want when I want anymore. Like now that I have a team.
Yep.
So I'm learning all of that too.
I want everyone to drop some fire for Kayla if you're watching right now. And can I just give you some love? You're fucking killing it. All right. You're killing it. How old are you?
I'm 29. I'm 30 next year. Well, this is a
You
goal for me. I
you
want to
you
be
you
free
look
for
you
my
look like you're
30th.
23, first of all. Okay, so that's first thing. I thought you were 23, legit. I'm not even fucking joking. That's when you say university 6 years. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's first thing. Second thing is you're fucking crushing it. All right, you are crushing it. So I know that you're very hard on yourself, and I know that you want to fucking grow. And Janelle's watching us right now too. What's up, Janelle? I know that you're like, you're pushing the fucking barrier, but I also want you to know that you are fucking slaying. Okay, so like, give
Thank you.
yourself some credit. Take a fucking minute to give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back publicly in the Millionaire Mastermind, and like understand that you're doing fucking amazing. All right. You're doing amazing. And like you are
Thank
going through
you.
it right now. And that's like, you're going through it, but you're also like, dude, you just had your record breaking month, $27,000. Like that's fucking sick.
I know,
That's
I know.
fucking
It needs
sick. You know, like let's take a minute to just recognize that like that's fucking sick. You're doing that.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
cool. So talk to the people that are listening to this podcast right now that want to grow their business, that want to scale, that want to reach the next level. Talk to those people right now. If you could go back to yourself when you were making $5,000 a month and give one piece of advice to the people that are listening to this podcast right now, what would it be?
You've got to be consistent. You
Mm.
have to be consistent. There's so many people that I see along the way, like quote unquote competitors in my industry over here in Australia. And it's like, everybody starts as like, they launch their, I'm an online coach, like online. And it's all this massive rage. And then they get all this engagement and then it slowly dies off. I've just consistently posted once a day for the last like however long, and it's just built up. What I will say, the advice that I have used, I really started understanding my clients' pains a lot more, and then just getting really clear on that. So everything that I did, I used to get in my own head a lot and watch what everyone else was doing in their like in their coaching businesses, like just being a sheep kind of thing. Oh,
Yep.
this person's offering a wait list. I'm going to do a wait list. Oh, this person's posting this. I'm going to post this. And I stopped doing that. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to listen to my clients. What are they struggling with? How can I help? I'm going to build a program that just accommodates to their struggles and solves their challenges. And I think that's the thing. If you're in it for the money, like you're not going to succeed. You've got to do it because you actually want to help people. And I guess that's the purpose that I have, is the people that I'm serving, the people, their challenges are what I've been through in the past myself. Like I started as a girl that had an eating disorder, that like had that yo-yo dieting, binging mentality. Like I can empathize with my clients. I know what they're going through. I know their pain. I know their struggle. I know their body image issues, all of it. Like, because I've been through it myself, like I'm here to help them. I don't want them to struggle like I did. So it's really easy to put out content because it just comes naturally to me. It comes like authentically to me because I'm generally like so passionate about it. But what people need to do, again, like if you hate it, like you're not going to succeed with the journey, because you're going to have hard days. You're going to have days where, you might have 10 clients join one week and then 8 drop off the next. And then you think the world's ending. So I'm going to be completely transparent. There's been times where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I actually think I'm going to have to go back to teaching. I haven't had that in the last year, but there were definitely times that I was like, oh my God, this is not sustainable. Like, I don't think I'm going to get the inload of clients. Same thing. I think a lot of people, what they actually struggle with is their mindset. Like they don't believe that they're worthy enough of making X amount of money. Like I don't think I never used to believe that what I charged was like what I didn't think I was worthy enough of the dollar that I put on my prices.
Mm.
Like I remember I did have a number of mentors here in Australia that like I just would connect with and ask questions and stuff. And they would be like, "You're not charging enough." And then I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then they would tell me what I should be charging. And I was like, "There's no way my clients will pay that. They're paying it now." Let me just say that. So, I think it's the level of value that you put on yourself. And if you truly back yourself, if you think that what you do is good, like the whole imposter syndrome and shit like that, like we all have it. Like no matter what level you're at, you're going to think and feel like you're not good enough because then you unlock that new level and then you're like, well, here I am now. And it's like the coach that I'm training up, she is feeling all those feels now. And I'm like, babe, we are all figuring it out as we go.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
you have to be consistent. Like back to the question, like you need to be consistent with just showing up every day, good or bad, because you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, it's gonna be highs, there's gonna be lows. But the ones that just push through all of it, the ones that just show up fucking consistently, eventually all those little daily things that you do compound over time.
Boom. Beautiful. Now, where do people find you if they want to know more about Kayla?
Coach Kayla Williams.
Coach Kayla Williams. Kayla, thank you so fucking much. This podcast was awesome. You are awesome. And this is only the beginning. I can't wait to do another podcast with you when you're hitting 50.
I know, me too. It's gonna be good.
I appreciate you so much. Guys, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you got value from Kayla's podcast, go give her a follow. Let her know that you listen and have the best day of your entire life. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.